Then he has forgotten to change the colors of the black into white of mast and sails, and so the next day the victorious trip back home was done in black.
Temple of Poseidon. There's over 16,400 kilometers of shoreline in the Aegean Sea and the Greek Isles. 16,400 kilometers. Another view. Side of the island. Way. This is where we came from, practically. We're at the edge of the rock. Straight down to the sea. Oh, look who's there. One of the sightseers. Goodness gracious. Another view. Another view. Back to the ship. Beautiful motor coach. Driving by the sea. Pennsylvania Highway 101. Well, these houses are built on the hillside. Another beach town.
This is the Varkiza beach. It's a nice suburb, 27 kilometers to Piraeus from here.
First rain we've seen in 2 months. Look at the rain. Coming down now. Arrow.
Does it do this every time it rains?
It rains, it happens, yes, it's all stacked, you know, all the sewage is problematic here and the ending close to the seawater.
Wait, the cars don't want to let him go.
Right through it.
Oh, the drivers look at him now.
The other cars can't do it because the water will get up into the motor. Bravo.
Bravo.
Just like home, traffic tie up.
Yeah, after work hours.
Oval Stadium.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Basketball stadium. Skyscraper, I can't get it all.
Now, before we get to the end in 2 minutes at the terminal, please make sure you don't leave anything of your belongings in the bus. Just look around after your things. Don't leave anything of your belongings in the bus. Look around after all your things now.
Yeah. Good.
He was pretty lucky going, hardly different. Closed since then. So all the ships have to go all the way around the Peloponnese in order to either to reach Piraeus or to leave the country and go to Italy. See, what you see is the Aegean on the left and the big rock there.
Ancient natural Corinth Canal, which leads from the Ionian Sea to the Aegean Sea. Stunning mountainside. This is a continuation of the Corinth Canal, and that's the Aegean Sea. Beyond.
Forming holy prostitution.
Entrance
Yes,
to
this was the
Corinth.
way of the counter goddess,
Corinth.
Venus. And they used to attract all the sailors and to invite all the sailors up there. And today only a few slabs remain from the temple. Fine here, just fine.
This is the modern city of Corinth.
And the modern city of Corinth has no particular aspect My colors are here, the plates of Asia. And the last Acre Corinth, you can distinguish some of the walls remaining there.
Ancient Corinth.
Remnants of a Turkish bath here.
There's a Turkish bath.
You've been in Kusadasi, you went up to F. Always the one going up the hill has the priority. Yes. It's an international law. At the cafes, the elderly people always sit at the cafes. They sip their coffee, they sound very enthusiastic in the kitchen, and they look after the kids and they prepare the meals. And this is the site of Corinth. Here we are. Some were small, some were bigger, but they were all private collectors in Europe. They always people were very received copies of Roman days of statues of Roman sculptures too. And next we have most also not necessarily walls, but also walls of houses like it is shown here.
This is a youthful portrait of Nero.
The statue of the Roman Empire of the rulers at that time, the emperors. And when they died, they just took off that head and put the head of the new one on there, so you didn't have to make a whole new statue. This is.
Obsidian
all
pottery
these animals
exported.
that you see, mostly lions and
Sphinx.
And here we have some sphinxes, statues,
A dig, archaeology dig, and they put it back together by piece.
and some his Buddhist.
Mama.
You can see different organs.
Corinthian type helmet that they wore, bronze.
Notice the ruins on top of the mountain. In ancient Corinth. Ancient Corinth. Bringing down into the valley.
West were linked with shops. The library of Julius Caesar, ladies and gentlemen. What we have
Standing in the agora were many shops, and this is a restored shop likeness. Another view of the Apollo temple. Restored shop again. Main entrance to the mall.
and they belong to an early Christian church, an early Christian basilica, ladies and gentlemen. So I would like you to imagine all that, the entrance here. What we see is only the foundation.
The arched windows or doorway is the three. It's the one of the original churches that were built here. And the water supply comes from here, down below. You can see way down there. And it was, this was a very rich trading center. They had everything here.
Ken and Sharon. Pushed it. Okay. I shot from under a pine tree. It's the type of sandals they wore. So the Ionian Sea at Corinth, the modern day port. Ionian Sea. in the town of Piraeus. Busy, narrow streets to shops. Ahead of us on the bus. Election coming up. Notice the streets posters all over the place. The church down near the waterfront. Chase Manhattan.
I don't go back to the beginning. Nico, you can call me. I'm going to be your guide for today. Now, the city of Volos, 115,000 inhabitants, and we're going through now the northern exit of the city, very close to the industrial zones of the town. And
Fields.
only 26% of ancient Greece has been excavated and found until today, including
City of Larissa. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Greek
Greek Orthodox Church, and the indoor swimming pool.
Meteoria rocks we're going to visit. Getting closer.
And some exhibition of journalists, a photographic competition. One of the 10 most interesting signs only. And Roger will take a picture of that. We're going to take a photograph of Holy Trinity, where Otis, I think, life, you know, seen on those cases from the people who were living in ascetic. Yeah, look to the rear of Agios Nikolaos, right above our...
St. Nicholas
Agios Nikolaos.
on the mountainside. What a conglomeration.
And the Greek flag is on the left, and the flag of Byzantium.
Meteoria. The cities below. Monastery destroyed by an earthquake.
See on those rocks, horizontal lines. Look at this big one here to the left. Just look now. See the different wood wing ladders, you know, and then when the real monasteries, they were having pulleys and they were pulling everything, the whole thing. Wait, from Germany, for 11 million inhabitants.
The photo stop here. This is where we are eventually going to end up, a monastery on top of this mountain. We'll have to climb 100 steps after the bus reaches the lower part.
Monastery available by first wall.
It's under construction, that one, I think.
One is available by cable car. Cable car is moving. The best I can get of it. To that. Amazing country. There is Santa Barbara. Looks like there's some monks up there. One busload, number one, is going up the stairs. See them going up the stairway? Up to the top. We're on our way up to the stairs. Plus now we took one upwards. Well, we're at part of the top. Still going up.
Because there will be many groups coming in and out. What's that group εκεί μέσα? They have to travel to Monemvasia, they have to travel to Meteora.
Shuffle, no videos.
But they're not to be eaten because they're not ready yet in September, late or early October. Different.
Thousands of visitors. of the upper road. Look at on the downward road. That lifts materials up and puts them on the track. Down there and picks up that concrete. Across the way, another monastery and people climbing. Up, up, up. Down.
See the people coming up? We came up that. Now we're on top and going to go down.
What's below us? The town of Kalampa. Shrine.
There's 4 monks there. That we don't include today. 4 look left. There's 2 buses behind us, there's 4 buses, 5 buses. This is where they're repainting the inner
City of Kalampa. Gardens on top of this mountain. The inside of St. Stephen's Monastery. Stephen's Monastery. Unusual rock formation. Lolos in the distance. Lolos. We're in the Dardanelles Straits. Passing between the continent of Asia and Europe. Castle on the starboard side. View of the fort that guarded the Dardanelles. And this hillside memorial.
Directly off on the starboard side is a thriving town and the administration centre for the area. It's also the gateway to Troy.
We're in the Sea of Marmara right now. There's a lot of traffic. And we're coming up a city on our left-hand side. This morning, entering the Dardanelles. Through the Dardanelles into the Sea of Marmara. We passed these islands and we're going to go through the straits at Istanbul. Very narrow, called the Bosphorus Straits, which is right through there into the Black Sea. I get a better picture of it by this automatic manual. Look at how narrow that strait is that goes through to the Black Sea. Oh, the Gala.
Tell me, I use a boat. I'll get a boat.
Everything is made out of food. On turkey. A lobster. Oh, lobster.
All lobster.
My gosh, what are they made? Little mice.
Here's the salmon.
Huh? Table of goodies.
I don't want to be at the end of
A temple of pagoda, icing. Take it in front. Take a picture.
Look at this. Look at this. Please.
Varna, Bulgaria.
And the people who invented the alphabet, the brothers.
Black Sea.
That's why do you like it? Because we have years ago when it was communist time, it was a little bit different. I mean, see
Lots of hotels.
I mean, the hotels and everything, the decoration, these bombs.
We're in the Black Sea. In Varna, Bulgaria. Many restaurant facilities and hotels, luxury type. This is the resort area for Bulgaria. A woman enjoying it. We're kind of in a Central Park area. People are gathered around that column for some reason. We'll go over and find out.
This is the first stop on our bus tour today, and it's a huge resort along the beach that the Russians and Germans and Greek use for their vacation time on the Black Sea.
We're in the Golden Sands Resort and enjoying a little festivities with music and a little something to eat. There'll be a show out here in a few minutes.
Cappuccino.
Oh, thank you. Down the walkway from the restaurant.
About the Indian tribes in the past. And we were supposed to study the people here today, they speak Russian.
Monument, I don't know what. Looks like so.
Monument. Notice the clothes hanging out.
Of the town. It's a means of transport we see because the fuel building it's Varna's municipality which houses all kinds of activities. Here is also representative.
We're in the museum in Varna, Bulgaria, and we just listened to that beautiful octet. You've got some of it on tape. Here's some of the icons that are displayed in the museum.
Icon in the museum.
The weight of the gold treasure is 7 kilograms. This is our measure. We use kilograms as a measure here. So now we'll, and very important and maybe one of the most interesting things, it's a grave of a man at
30 years old.
The really
Magnified gold piece taken from the grave of a Thracian lady. This is early Byzantine treasure. Cultural and Archaeology Museum. An older building, but still beautiful.
Bulgaria, Sofia. So not to lose too much time in the church because you want also to walk. I want to say that it's a three-nave basilica, and when we go inside, I will show you and I'll tell you.
We're in downtown Bulgaria. Downtown Bulgaria. Oh, building. In Varna, Bulgaria. In St. Mary's Cathedral. Walked in the underground.
It isn't Catholic cathedral, it's Orthodox Christian.
Oh, really?
They only have 10%. This is a square. We're just walking through, going to more shops. We just crossed under the street.
Yeah. Pretty building from the square. The amphitheater. A woman begging.
She just threw herself on the street. She was really begging.
Central Station.
Your sweet hope for...
We're saying goodbye to Varna. And we're leaving the dock with 3 engines instead of 4. What a disaster. Driver of the ship, along with Bob and Eddie.
4 stripes. You must be from Scotland.
Yeah. Entering the port of Odessa, Ukraine. coming alongside. The pilot in black.
Company Tigola Canadese. Inside there is an exhibition. You will see a very strange symbol of the future. It is rather strange. It symbolizes the future perspective as the gala entrance to our city. And on the top of these steps, this is a monument of the first, and the majority of buildings here were built in the left. You will notice it because very good architect. And for example, a small square, we call it Potemkin Square.
Governor of Odessa, who was French.
So it is a very popular.
In the square, one of the first hotels. Looking down the steps toward the ship.
He designed a lot of very beautiful.
The Potemkin steps, 192 of them.
So why do they open?
This was before the revolution.
Each half an hour.
We're walking down Odessa Boulevard. Alexander Pushkin, a famous and beloved poet in Odessa. City Hall, where weddings take place, and there's one right now. For the office of the mayor. Now, with the Ukraine colors of the flag rather than the Soviet Union. Wedding processional coming down the street with a band at the rear.
Even in Odessa, we have absolutely unique of Russia at that time, Catherine. And Catherine the Great, you will, I think you will enjoy very...
At the restaurant, we're having lunch. I'll get the name of the hotel later. An elegant preparation. Music for lunch.
Exterior here, yes, and then we will.
We're going to see a ballet
top,
at this
you
opera
see
house.
that this building is.
Right.
This is a building right next to the opera house, and these are the statues that portray different in Greek mythology, different things, and we're going to be able to see Carmen and also Chopin ballet.
For architecture. Odessa, Russia, at the Opera House.
But its entrance faced the sea. It was opened with a very great pomp and ceremony. Winter Night Dream, so Winter Tale. This chandelier, it was made in Moscow plant, or in Moscow watch plant. There are 606 seats inside this theater. If you look, for example, at the boxes.
Now on the first tier, and we're facing the stage in which a performance will be soon taking place. first Koshyopyanana. This is Carmen.
For street painters, a lot of paintings is possible to buy and send any church. So our next stop now will be Russian and Ukrainian art. All the paintings which you will now see, all of them are originals. Of course, there are a lot of
The House of
this young
Art.
charming lady,
Classic
organized
thinking.
a court.
Catherine the Great.
Romanticism. Here you will hear a lot about him because there is a residence. This is one of them on the right-hand side.
Is this rush hour?
No, not all these flowers were grown, of course, here. A lot of them are imported to Odessa, mainly from Turkey, Greece, here, imported. But some of them, it is possible to grow here in how do you call it, hot houses? Greenhouses, yes.
Is this a...
And it was impossible to find Bible to read. Now, it is absolute. People